Home sweet home is not always the case in Dunedin. Student flats are notorious for being mouldy, run down and above all cold. But the Otago University Students Association is seeing a slight improvement in the bulk of the city's flatting stock.
I think we're seeing a lot more better flats, which is fantastic. I do know that there are still pockets where, it seems like they're stuck 10 years behind and the flats aren't being done up, they're not being looked after. But definitely I think we're seeing a lot more great landlords and a lot more great flats.
But despite the positive trend, Keeney says there are still too many students living in squalor. And it's not all their fault when landlords neglect the basics, like making sure bathrooms aren't mouldy and carpet stays on the floor. Some of the shabby examples of such neglect were revealed in today's flat inspections. And Keeney says that's probably the tip of the iceberg.
Students are still a bit sort of wary about dobbing the landlord in if they're not happy with their landlord. I mean, certainly working at student support and dealing with issues with tenants, we know that there are some landlords that aren't that great.
She wants to see all students enjoying the benefits of comfortable living and having positive relationships with their landlords. Keeney says there are even some property owners who go the extra mile for their tenants and should be congratulated accordingly.
So, for example, we had someone write and say, that their landlord would randomly just drop in with a big bag of fruit for the flatties, or ring to check that everything was going okay, being really proactive.
And it's those landlords who will receive pamper packages at tonight's awards, while the worst landlords will be invited to lunch with the association to talk about possible improvements. And with a bit of landlord DIY, Dunedin students might feel even more at home next year. Rosie Mannins, 39 Dunedin News.